Y'all have chicken in a waffle on a stick. Woo! I gotta try that one.
And he stops and he says, "Daddy, is this heaven?" I said, "No, son, it's Iowa."
Frontrunner President Trump skipped out on those stump speeches, but that did not stop him from becoming the fair's main attraction. He was swarmed with cheering crowds and some questions about his mounting legal troubles.
President Trump, did you intend to overturn the 2020 election?
You know the answer to this.
Do you feel like the presidential election cycle for 2024 has already started? You're not alone. Seems like it has been going on since 2020.
Sarah, there's a plane that flew overhead while Ron DeSantis was flipping burgers or whatever they were doing. Before Trump's plane circled overhead, this is what that plane said. "Be likable, Ron." Clearly a shot from Trump's team. They were creative. And Alexis McAdams asked him about that. Watch this.
Do you think you're a likable candidate?
I think that's a narrative, but you know, when you have Trump doing that, he's got so many people that would never vote for him, and I've seen that in Florida. They want a leader. They want somebody that's going to be in it for them. And our candidacy is really about the American people, reversing the decline of the country. It's not about me. It's about them.
But check this out. The two major front runners for now, they don't want to participate in any debates at all. And I wonder why that is, because if you believe that your ideas are superior to others, then why wouldn't you want to debate that kind of thing out, especially in a representative democracy, and give the people an opportunity to see you in action, especially if you have been in office for over 40 years, or in the case of the front runner on the Republican side, at least 4 years, and you believe that you have worked so much magic for the country. Talk it through and let others who want to challenge you have an opportunity to do that before an audience of millions of people. But guess what, America? Neither one, on the Republican side or the Democratic side, they do not want to debate because they don't believe that the people who are running against them in these respective primaries are good enough.
Trump has previously said he will not be attending the debate because he's so far ahead in the national polling. The latest Morning Consult poll shows he holds a 43-point lead over his nearest rival. That's Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. But Trump's recent indictment in Georgia could mean the debate is overshadowed by something else. The former president has until August 25th, that's next Friday, to voluntarily surrender for booking in Atlanta. The debate is next Wednesday. That means, in theory, Trump could potentially plan his arrest to coincide with the debate.
Or is it really they're saying that you, the American people, are not worthy, that you are not good enough?
Do you think Donald Trump should participate in the debate?
I do, Jake, just as I believe that the current president, President Biden, should participate in debates as well.
With Robert Kennedy Jr. and
Yes.
Marianne Williamson.
Marianne Williamson, and I know that Dr. Cornel West is running the Green Party, but yeah, just go ahead and throw Dr. West in there too. Both of the front runners just seem to have this attitude as if it's us and the American people do not have a say, they do not have a choice, and so we're not going to give audience to the other peasants.
And we're tired of being
us.
taken for granted.
That's what it is.
Earn the vote.
So on my recent appearance on CNN's State of the Union, our panel discussed the 2024 election cycle, and part of that discussion was about whether or not debates should happen. And Jake asked one of my colleagues whether or not President Donald J. Trump was actually trolling one of his competitors, Governor DeSantis. Or should I say, DeSanctimonious? Or is it DeSatan? Well, it just depends on how you see the man, but I digress. But whether or not he was in fact trolling him. Now, we know the obvious answer is absolutely yes. Former president zipped right into the great state of Iowa. He did so in a helicopter and in a fashion that totally disrupted DeSantis's groove as everybody looked up to gawk at the sight. And when DeSantis had a conversation with the current governor of Iowa at what they called a fair side chat, there was a plane hired by the Trump campaign that had the words, "Be likable, Ron."
Before Trump's plane circled overhead, this is what that plane said. "Be likable, Ron." Clearly a shot from Trump's team. They were creative.
Oh yeah, leave no doubt. Trump is trolling DeSantis. But he's not the only one. Now, Governor DeSantis, he deserves to be trolled. This is a man who picked a fight with Disney, not because Disney is not maybe paying their workers a fair wage, so he's not standing up for workers. No, he picked a fight with Disney and has absolutely, this grown A man wants to box with Minnie and Mickey, or is it Daisy and Donald, or maybe it's Goofy. This is a man who has declared war on wokeness, aka black people. He's using his state school board to rewrite the history of African American people, starting with the enslavement of Africans and then their descendants, touting the fact that they learned some valuable skills as chattel slavery. It was so much fun. Or is it wasting taxpayers' dollars in the great state of Florida by sending migrants to Martha's Vineyard? Or is it his control over his state legislature so much that they rewrite the rules so that he can both run for president and also stay governor over a period of time? They're just changing the rules as they go along. Governor DeSantis should never, ever be president of the United States of America. So not only is President Donald J. Trump trolling him, I'm trolling him too. And I'm not the only one trolling Governor DeSantis. The National NAACP put out a warning black people, be careful in the great state of Florida, because guess what? You're not wanted there. And he certainly does not care about the least of these. You got children suffering in that state, and if children are suffering, that means that their parents are suffering. And instead of him using the power to do good in the world, he has decided to use his power as a corrupting force. This is Governor DeSantis. This is his mission. He doesn't have any great ideas or big ideas. His only thing is to continue the culture wars. But back to how we started this. I believe that the candidates of both parties should debate, period. Former President Donald J. Trump should debate on the Republican side, and certainly the current President Biden should debate on the Democratic side. We have people like Marianne Williamson running, you got Robert Kennedy Jr. running, and you have the one and only Dr. Cornel West. And although he's running as a Green Party candidate, I think he would be a great addition to both stages. The bottom line is this: people who are big enough, bold enough, and bad enough to run for president of the United States of America should also be big enough, bold enough, and bad enough to be able to debate their ideas and take them to the American people. But I want to know what you think. Hit me up.